The concept of innocence and crime delves into the paradoxical nature of individuals or groups who, due to their perceived innocence, are often overlooked as potential perpetrators of crime. This idea challenges the conventional perception that crime is the domain of those who visibly fit the criminal stereotype, hardened, malicious, or desperate individuals. Instead, it highlights the unsettling reality that crimes can and are committed by those least suspected, such as trusted community members, professionals, or even children. This concept is crucial as it forces society to confront its biases and assumptions about criminality, urging a more nuanced understanding of human behavior beyond superficial judgments. The significance of this point lies in its ability to expose the gaps in our societal and legal systems, often leading to a failure in preventing crimes by those perceived as innocent. For instance, white-collar crimes committed by respected business professionals or heinous acts by individuals in positions of trust, like clergy or teachers, reveal how the veneer of innocence can be deceptive. A real-world example involves financial fraud cases, where individuals like Bernie Madoff, once a trusted figure in the finance world, orchestrated a massive Ponzi scheme. Another example is child soldiers in conflict zones, who, despite their age and perceived innocence, are involved in committing grave acts of violence under coercion. Opinions supporting this idea emphasize the importance of vigilance and critical thinking. Experts recommend dismantling stereotypes that equate innocence with harmlessness, advocating for a society that remains observant and critical even of those who wear the mask of innocence. However, this concept is not without its challenges. It risks cultivating undue suspicion and paranoia, potentially leading to witch hunts and the unfair targeting of innocent individuals. There is also a need to balance skepticism with trust, ensuring that communities do not become overly cautious to the point of dysfunction. This perspective influences other aspects of the main topic by encouraging deeper investigation into how societal structures and biases may contribute to overlooking certain crimes. It raises critical questions about the role of media, law enforcement, and public opinion in shaping narratives about crime and justice. Ultimately, exploring the illusions of innocence broadens the dialogue about prevention, accountability, and the complexities of human nature, urging a more empathetic yet judicious approach to evaluating crime and culpability in contemporary society. The concept of illusions of innocence revolves around the paradoxical idea that individuals or groups who are least suspected, often perceived as innocent or embodying societal ideals of morality, can commit serious crimes. This notion challenges the preconceived belief that appearances and reputations are accurate indicators of one's true character. It questions the reliability of societal norms and stereotypes in judging innocence, urging a deeper, more critical examination of character and behavior. Understanding this concept is crucial in dissecting the main topic, as it exposes the blind spots in our collective perception of criminal behavior. It underscores the unsettling reality that trust and perceived innocence can be manipulated, making society vulnerable to those who betray these expectations. This scrutiny compels us to reconsider how we assess danger and culpability, potentially leading to more comprehensive and just approaches in crime prevention and justice. Consider the infamous case of Ted Bundy, a charismatic and seemingly affable individual who was able to evade suspicion for years, even as he committed numerous heinous crimes. His outward charm and cultivated image of normalcy allowed him to exploit the illusion of innocence, misleading both the public and law enforcement. Another example is the Enron scandal, where top executives, perceived as respectable business leaders, engaged in massive corporate fraud. Their seemingly impeccable corporate standing masked their unethical and illegal activities, exploiting the trust of investors and employees. Many experts argue that the illusion of innocence is a critical flaw in human judgment, highlighting how biases can blind society to the potential for wrongdoing in unexpected places. This view emphasizes the necessity for vigilance and the reevaluation of the criteria by which we judge integrity and honesty. However, this perspective does not come without its challenges and controversies. Some argue that an overemphasis on skepticism can lead to a culture of distrust, where paranoia replaces genuine trust and community bonds. Furthermore, profiling based on perceived innocence might inadvertently shift biases, potentially leading to unjust scrutiny for certain demographics. The examination of illusions of innocence intricately ties into broader discussions on crime, justice, and societal trust. It influences how we perceive authority figures, role models, and even entire institutions. By unraveling these illusions, we become better equipped to address issues of accountability, potentially fostering a more discerning and equitable society. Ultimately, this discussion propels us to rethink the delicate balance between trust and skepticism in our social fabric. The concept of psychological profile of the least suspected offenders delves into the complex and often surprising characteristics of individuals who commit crimes yet appear outwardly unassuming or innocent. These offenders typically defy conventional stereotypes of criminality, blending seamlessly into society due to their non-threatening demeanor, respectable status, or roles that inherently command trust, such as teachers, caregivers, or clergy. This heading is crucial to understanding illusions of innocence because it sheds light on how these individuals exploit perceptions of innocence to obfuscate their malicious intentions, making their actions particularly insidious and difficult to detect. The importance of examining these psychological profiles lies in its capacity to challenge our biases and assumptions, prompting a more nuanced view of criminal behavior. It forces society to question how and why such offenders manage to perpetrate crimes under the radar and the psychological traits that enable them to maintain this veneer of innocence. For instance, Ted Bundy, a notorious serial killer, leveraged his charm and good looks to appear trustworthy and harmless. Similarly, Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, was seen as a model citizen and active community member while carrying out heinous crimes over decades. Support for understanding these profiles comes from various psychological studies and expert opinions highlighting traits such as manipulativeness, narcissism, and a lack of empathy, which are often present in these offenders. Such insights underscore the importance of not solely relying on outward appearances when assessing potential threats or criminal behavior. However, delving into this topic is not without its challenges and controversies. Profiling could lead to stigma and the misjudgment of individuals who may share superficial traits with offenders but are entirely innocent. Furthermore, the tendency to over-rely on profiles can result in oversight of those who do not fit the mold, allowing them to evade scrutiny. This point connects intimately with other aspects of the main topic by illustrating the broader theme of deception and the consequences of societal assumptions. It emphasizes the need for vigilance and a comprehensive understanding of human psychology in crime prevention and detection. By confronting the comforting illusion that evil is always apparent and easily identifiable, we open ourselves to the unsettling truth that danger may lurk behind the most innocuous facades. Thus, recognizing these psychological profiles is integral to dismantling the illusions of innocence that cloud our judgment and enable the least suspected offenders to carry out their crimes undetected. The concept of illusions of innocence, crimes committed by the least suspected, delves into the unsettling reality that those least expected to engage in criminal behavior are sometimes the perpetrators. This concept is rooted in the cognitive bias, where individuals are judged based on their appearance, demeanor, or societal status, leading to a presumption of innocence. Individuals such as respected community members, professionals, or those with a clean-cut image often escape suspicion, allowing criminal activities to remain undetected for extended periods. The significance of this point is profound as it challenges societal norms and perceptions. It emphasizes the need for critical thinking and the avoidance of superficial judgments based solely on appearances or reputations. Understanding this concept is crucial in criminal psychology and law enforcement because it calls for more comprehensive investigative methods that consider evidence over stereotypes. Consider the case of Ted Bundy, a seemingly charming and intelligent man who committed numerous heinous crimes. His demeanor allowed him to evade suspicion and capture for much longer than expected. Another example is the case of Bernie Madoff, a respected financier whose Ponzi scheme went unnoticed for years due to his stature in the financial world. These examples demonstrate how societal perceptions can be misleading, creating blind spots that criminals can exploit. Opinions supporting this idea often highlight the importance of not relying too heavily on first impressions or societal status when assessing guilt or innocence. Experts argue that by acknowledging the illusions of innocence, society can move towards more equitable justice systems that focus on evidence rather than appearances. However, there are challenges and controversies associated with this concept. One major challenge is the potential for increased skepticism and mistrust within communities, leading to the unfair suspicion of individuals based on minimal evidence. There is also an ethical dilemma regarding how to balance skepticism with the presumption of innocence, a cornerstone of justice systems around the world. This concept influences other aspects of the main topic by urging a re-evaluation of how society perceives crime and innocence. It encourages a more nuanced understanding of human behavior and challenges the reliability of societal stereotypes. This understanding can inform broader discussions on criminal justice reform, media portrayals of crime, and public awareness campaigns. Ultimately, recognizing the illusions of innocence can lead to more effective crime prevention and a more just society.